Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. You know, we talk a lot about success stories here, but I was thinking about something the other day. America is often called the land of opportunity, the place where you can come from anywhere and make it big. And I mean really big, we're talking billionaire big. It got me curious, so I did a little digging, and it's fascinating. So today, we're looking at where America's immigrant billionaires come from. These are the folks who packed their bags, moved to the States, and built incredible fortunes. It's a story about drive, innovation, and a little bit of that American dream magic. Now, this isn't just a random list I pulled out of a hat. No, we're going by the numbers here. This is all based on recent data that tracks where the wealthiest people who weren't born in the US originally hail from. It's like the World Cup of Wealth, but instead of a trophy, you get a yacht the size of a football field. Some of the countries on this list might surprise you, and some you might see coming from a mile away, but each one tells a unique story about the global flow of talent and ambition that has helped shape the American economy in massive ways. So get comfortable, maybe grab a notebook, because we're about to go on a journey around the globe without leaving our seats. We're going to count down the top 10 countries that have given America its most successful immigrants. From tech titans to hedge fund giants, these are the stories of people who came, saw, and conquered the world of business. It's going to be a fun one, I promise. Let's get into it. Alright, coming in at number 10, we're starting with a country that's a powerhouse in tech and innovation, Israel. It's incredible to think about how a nation so small can produce so many brilliant minds. When you think of Startup Nation, this is it. These entrepreneurs bring a unique kind of grit and genius to the US. You've got people like Adam Neumann, the co-founder of WeWork. I mean, what a story that is. It was a roller coaster, a phenomenon, a whole saga. He came to New York and completely changed the conversation around office space. And it doesn't stop there. There's also Haim Saban, the guy who brought the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to America. Go Power Rangers. You're singing the theme song now, aren't you, see? He basically created a cornerstone of 90s childhood for millions of us. He saw this show in Japan and thought, American kids will love this, and boy, was he right. From media moguls to tech visionaries, Israeli immigrants have made a huge, colorful, and action-packed mark on American business. It's a testament to a culture of incredible innovation and not being afraid to take a huge swing. Next up, let's talk about India. This one is a giant on the list, and for good reason. The contributions of Indian immigrants to the American tech scene in particular are just legendary. You can't even talk about Silicon Valley without mentioning the incredible talent that has come from India. These are the folks behind some of the biggest companies and technologies we use every single day. Think about Vinod Khosla, a co-founder of Sun Microsystems. This guy helped build the infrastructure of the internet as we know it. He's a venture capital legend now, funding the next generation of world-changing ideas. And then you have people like Ramesh Wadhwani, a true pioneer in the software industry. He built a massive AI software company, Symphony Technology Group. He came to the US for his education and just stayed, building an empire from the ground up. And let's not forget Jay Chaudhry of Zscaler, a cybersecurity giant. In a world where we're all worried about our data, he's one of the guys keeping it safe. The sheer brainpower and entrepreneurial spirit coming from India have fundamentally shaped modern America. And it's a trend that just keeps getting stronger. It's absolutely amazing. Alright, for our next stop we're heading to Russia. This is a fascinating one because the stories here are often incredibly dramatic. We're talking about people who grew up in the Soviet Union, saw its collapse, and then came to America and achieved mind-boggling success. The contrast is just wild. The most famous example, of course, is Sergey Brin, the co-founder of Google. Get this, he moved to the US from the Soviet Union when he was just 6 years old because his family was fleeing anti-Semitism. And he goes on to co-create a company that literally changed the world and how we access information. That story alone is movie-worthy, but he's not the only one. You also have Len Blavatnik, an investor with a massive portfolio in everything from music, he owns Warner Music Group, to chemicals and real estate. His journey from Russia to America and then to the top of the financial world is just incredible. These are individuals who often came from a place with very little economic freedom, and they seized the opportunities in the US with both hands. It's a powerful reminder of what people can achieve when they're given the chance to build something for themselves. Okay, let's move on to an island that is an absolute giant in the world of technology, Taiwan. When you think of the computer chips in your phone, your laptop, your car, there's a good chance a Taiwanese company had a hand in it. And that incredible expertise has translated into huge success for Taiwanese immigrants in the US. A perfect example is Jensen Huang, the co-founder and CEO of NVIDIA. You see that name everywhere now, especially with the AI boom. He's the guy in the leather jacket, an absolute rock star of the tech world. He co-founded the company at a Denny's. How great is that? And it's not just him. You have Min Liang Tan, co-founder and CEO of Razer. If you're a gamer, you definitely know Razer. He built a global empire on high-performance gaming hardware. Then there's David Sun and John Tu, the co-founders of Kingston Technology, a company that makes all the memory products that power our digital lives. They famously lost a fortune in the stock market and then started Kingston to build it all back and then some. Taiwanese American billionaires are often at the heart of the hardware that makes our modern world tick. They are the architects of the digital age. Now let's talk about China. Given its massive population and explosive economic growth over the last few decades, it's no surprise that it's a major source of immigrant billionaires in the US. The stories here are incredibly diverse, spanning everything from manufacturing and shipping to the world of high finance and even pharmaceuticals. One of the most prominent figures is Patrick Soon-Shiong. He's a surgeon, a scientist, and a businessman who has made his fortune in the biotech space, developing groundbreaking cancer treatments. He also owns the Los Angeles Times. Talk about a diverse portfolio. Then you have the Chow family, who built a shipping dynasty. The story of James S.C. Chow and his daughters, including former U.S. Secretary of Transportation Elaine Chao, is a classic American dream narrative. He came to the U.S. with almost nothing and created the Foremost Group, a global shipping company. These are stories of incredible perseverance, often starting from very humble beginnings and building empires through sheer hard work and brilliant business acumen. The scale of the success is just staggering, and it highlights the deep economic ties and flow of talent between China and the United States. Auf Wiedersehen. Let's head to Germany. You hear German engineering and you immediately think of quality, precision, and excellence. And that stereotype holds true for the German-born billionaires who have made their fortunes in America. They often bring a focus on solid, long-term business building. The most famous example is probably Peter Thiel. Yes, he moved to the US as a baby, but his German roots are part of his story. As a co-founder of PayPal and the first outside investor in Facebook, his impact on Silicon Valley is just immense. He's a contrarian thinker who has shaped so much of the tech landscape. But it's not all tech. You also have someone like Dietmar Hopp, a co-founder of the software giant SAP. While his fortune was primarily made in Germany, his company's success is deeply intertwined with the American market, and he maintains strong ties and investments in the US. And then there's the story of the Albrecht family, who founded Aldi. While their base is in Germany, their expansion into the US has been a massive success story, changing the grocery landscape with their low-price model. The German approach, meticulous, innovative, and built to last, has clearly found a very profitable home in the American market. Okay, let's take a trip just north of the border to our friendly neighbors in Canada. It might seem like a short trip, but the Canadian-born entrepreneurs who have come to the United States have made a massive impact. Of course, the first name that probably comes to mind for everyone is Elon Musk. Wait, you say, isn't he from South Africa? Yes, but he's also a Canadian citizen. He moved to Canada before coming to the US to attend college. So Canada gets to claim a piece of the guy behind Tesla, SpaceX, and, well, X. His ambition is literally out of this world. But the list of Canadian trailblazers doesn't stop there. Think about Garrett Camp, the co-founder of Uber. He's a Canadian guy from Calgary who had an idea that completely revolutionized transportation in cities around the world. Every time you tap that app to get a ride, you can thank him. There's also Peter Gilgan, the founder of Mattamy Homes, one of the largest privately owned home builders in North America, with a huge presence in the US. It seems our northern neighbors have a knack for building things, whether it's rockets, ride-sharing apps, or entire communities. Let's say bonjour to France. When you think of France, you might think of high fashion, fine wine, and incredible food. And you'd be right. But you should also think of some incredibly sharp business minds who have brought their talents to the United States. The most prominent example has to be Pierre Omidyar, the founder of eBay. He was born in Paris to Iranian parents and moved to the US as a child. He created a platform that basically invented the online marketplace and changed the way we all shop, sell, and collect things. That little auction site became a global phenomenon, and the French influence extends into the world of high finance and investment as well. You have individuals who have become titans in the hedge fund world, bringing a certain European sophistication to Wall Street. People like Philippe Lafond of Coatue Management, a major tech-focused hedge fund. He's known for making big, smart bets on the future of technology. These French-born billionaires often combine a creative, out-of-the-box approach with sharp analytical skills, proving that the French connection in America is about much more than just croissants and couture. It's also about big, big business. And now let's head to Italy, mamma mia! The story of Italian immigration to America is one of the most iconic parts of the nation's history. It's a story of food, family, and incredible hard work. And that legacy continues today at the highest levels of business. When we talk about Italian-born billionaires in the US, one name that stands out is Stefano Pessina. He's the driving force behind Walgreens Boots Alliance. That's right, the pharmacy you see on every other corner. He was instrumental in creating that global powerhouse. He's a master of mergers and acquisitions. It's a story of taking a traditional business and scaling it to an unimaginable size. And while he might be the most prominent, the Italian spirit of entrepreneurship runs deep. Think about the founders of luxury brands, food empires, and construction companies. The common thread is often a deep passion for the product and an incredible dedication to quality, passed down through generations. From pharmaceuticals to fashion, Italian-born entrepreneurs have brought their signature blend of style, substance, and strategic thinking to the American market, and the results speak for themselves. Last but certainly not least, let's cross the pond to the United Kingdom. Cheerio! The special relationship between the US and the UK isn't just political, it's deeply embedded in business and finance. British immigrants have been finding success in America for centuries, and that tradition is alive and well in the billionaire class. One of the most interesting figures is Michael Moritz, a Welsh-born venture capitalist. He was a journalist at Time magazine before joining Sequoia Capital and making legendary early investments in companies like Google, Yahoo, and PayPal. His ability to spot the next big thing is just uncanny. And you also have people like Simon Rubin and David Rubin, the Rubin brothers. These are titans of real estate and private equity. While they are based in the UK, their investments and properties in the United States are vast, including major buildings and developments in New York and other big cities. They have a legendary reputation for being shrewd deal-makers. From the cutting edge of venture capital to the bedrock of real estate, British-born billionaires have brought a mix of journalistic curiosity, financial savvy, and old-school business acumen to the States, continuing a long and very profitable tradition. So there you have it. From Israel to the UK and all across the globe, the story of America's immigrant billionaires is a story of incredible diversity. We've seen tech geniuses from India and Taiwan, media moguls from Israel, retail kings from Germany, and financial wizards from France. It's a powerful testament to the idea that talent and ambition know no borders. These individuals didn't just come to America to live, they came to build, to innovate, and to create legacies that have fundamentally changed industries and created jobs for millions of people. It's a pretty inspiring thing to think about. The American dream, as complex and debated as it is clearly still a powerful magnet for the world's brightest and most driven individuals. Each person on this list saw an opportunity here that they might not have had in their home country, and they seized it with everything they had. It really makes you appreciate the incredible melting pot of ideas and cultures that makes the US economy so dynamic. The constant influx of new perspectives is, without a doubt, one of its greatest strengths. But that brings me to a question for you guys. We've looked at where today's immigrant billionaires have come from, but what about tomorrow's? Looking at the world right now with all the changes in technology, global economics, and emerging markets, where do you think the next wave of billionaire immigrants will come from? Which countries are nurturing the next Elon Musk or Sergey Brin? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'm really curious to see what you all think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.